Hello, everyone. This is Nail Shabazz. Welcome to episode number 4 of InvoNews podcast. And today, my guest is Rihard Piks, co-founder and CMO at Supliful. How are you doing, Rihard?
Hi, Niall. Yeah, I'm doing great. It's a wonderful day. Yeah.
Tell me, what's the origin of the word, your name, Rihard?
Richard, yeah. So your question was,
The origin,
what's
if
the
the
meaning of?
English, Latin, Spanish, or
Yeah.
Greek,
So
German?
it's a Latvian name. So I'm Latvian.
Ah,
Richard is a pretty typical name. It has no special meanings. Just like the version of Richard, basically Latvian pronunciation of word Richard.
oh, okay, cool. Okay, first question. Just educate us about your startup, Supliful. What is it? How did you come up with the idea and how is it going?
All right. Yeah. So Supliful is an on-demand platform where anyone can join and create their own supplement brands without any upfront investments whatsoever. So on our platform, you can pick products, customize the look, publish them to your online store and start selling. When the order comes in, we deliver it we dropship it directly to your customers. So that's in a nutshell, Supliful. It's basically like print on demand, only with supplements.
Okay. And how did you come up with the idea? And when was it, by the way? When did you start?
Yeah. So we started in 2020. Yeah. So how did we come up with this idea? Actually, it goes back to 2015 when we launched our like poster business, and it was based on print on demand service providers. So we had personalized map poster brands. We were taking care of marketing and sales, whilst the print on demand provider was sending the ordered products directly to customers. So this was a really convenient solution. It let us focus on what matters. That was branding, marketing, growth. We were struggling a lot initially. Of course, we had no experience, but yeah, we managed to scale it to 7-digit revenue and sell the business in the like first wave of COVID, like in a peak of epidemic. And
Was it panic selling? Were you scared or?
no, we actually the plan was from very beginning to build like a lean operation, make it as automated as possible, and in the end to wrap it all up nicely and try to sell it to somebody. And it was a coincidence that these new circumstances appeared. There was a bit of panic on our side, of course, that the potential buyer with whom we were talking already would get scared and just drift away. At the same time, e-commerce, contrary to what we expected, was booming, like because people were locked in homes and they were shopping online. So at one point we even thought like, okay, maybe we shouldn't sell this because like it was going really great. So yeah, and going back to your original question, so yeah, once we sold this business, we thought about the next steps, what we would like to build next, and we decided to do something similar, but with supplements. So we were so we started looking for like supplements on demand supplier, just like print on demand service providers we had used before, but in the supplement industry, and we couldn't find a good and trustworthy partner. So that's why we decided we need to build such platform ourselves.
Did you start from Latvia? Like, are you
Yeah.
based? Okay. And why supplement industry?
Yeah. So supplement industry. Why? Because with posters, there were really few repeat sales. If there's no repeat sales, it's really difficult to scale business. And so yeah, we thought like, what could be a product that people come back and buy again and again if they like the product. And that we're at the time, and still we're doing a lot of fitness ourselves. I go training every day, and I use supplements myself. So
that
yeah,
was
this
my
naturally
assumption.
came.
Actually, you must be involved in like gyms and bodybuilding, so naturally you would incline towards supplement industry.
Yeah, but not gyms. I'm doing free weight training. I don't use any equipment, but yeah, I use supplements, and so yeah, naturally this idea came to me that I'm using supplements a lot, and then why shouldn't I like incorporate this product into an on-demand business model?
Okay. Next question is, talk to me about the competitors. I'm kind of certain, I haven't done my thorough market research, but there must be platforms like these already existing.
Yeah, there are a couple.
So how hard was it for you to get started and make it profitable?
It's not difficult to get started because of the competition, but there are other reasons for that. But speaking of competition, yeah, there are a couple. We keep them in mind. We sometimes check what they're doing, but just out of curiosity, because, well, as I said, we were looking to start a supplement brand ourselves, and we looked at these platforms, and none of them looked good enough to us. So that's why we started Supliful.
What's good enough for you?
Good enough is, well, I think print on demand platforms have set a really high bar, like Printful or Printify, which are like two top companies in print on demand industry, I would say. These companies also come from Latvia, so it's like inspiring examples. And if you check those companies out, then the process from sign up to value is as short as possible. They removed a lot of hurdles. There's a lot of tutorials and guides how to do this. There's a lot of support from community. So this whole user experience is really smooth, and that's what we want to do here at Supliful.
Okay. How do you make sure the quality of supplements isn't compromised? Actually, that was the first thing I thought about. It's like, if it's so easy, I can just slap on a label on white powder and sell it as protein shake or something. So how do you make sure that, to deliver quality products?
Yeah. Yeah, so supplement industry, it's historically been a bit shady because on one side you had these pumped up guys who are using some protein shakes, and people always believe that it's just for them. And then on the other side, you had like businesses in gray area or even outright scams that are selling some kind of supplement. So there's kind of bad aura around this industry, and but we see that it's changing. There's already like a lot of modern and transparent brands popping up right now, and that's also what we want to do. We want to be as transparent as possible about the contents of the product, about its origin, about all kinds of certifications and so on. So
you do all of these verifications before signing them up?
Yeah, of course. There's a whole process how we choose supplements and partners, and then yeah, we have a lead nutritionist in our team who's been creating supplement and nutrition plans for pro athletes in English Premier League. he's basically a scientist. He knows this industry inside out. So yeah, we have internally a capacity and then a process to make sure that these supplements are highest quality.
Can you give me a ballpark figure of how many people actually apply and how many do you reject, say, out of 10?
We don't have a rejection process. We don't reject anyone in the sign up and registration process. We don't see any risk if somebody comes to our platform, signs up, and just gives it a try, and we actually encourage that. We do, however, have a verification process when the first sale comes in. We want to make sure that the label complies with the FDA regulations. We want to make sure that the source of the sale, so the website and its and the marketing strategy that surrounds it is ethical and truthful, and we verified that if everything is okay, which it is in 99% of the time, because we make clear these rules upfront. So yeah, so most of the time everything's perfectly fine.
And how do you integrate the payment system? How do they pay you, like the payment gateways?
It's a standard setup. So when somebody signs up, part of the onboarding process is adding a business credit card, and we charge per order as they come in. So first somebody places an order on your store, then the order automatically comes to us, and then we charge the production fee, and the brand holder on Supliful platform keeps the markup, the profit markup in between. So that's the model.
Okay, so in terms of like rough percentages, how much would your brand would be making, say, on $100 revenue generated?
So the brand holders that sign up and create their own brands, they have freedom to choose their own pricing strategy. It can be anything from 10% to 900%. We've seen also ridiculously high market prices, and so it really depends on the brand strategy that the user chooses.
Okay. How do you keep checking on fake and spam accounts and the security system you use to, well, you've already answered that, how you verify and make it trustworthy, but what about fake and spam accounts?
We haven't yet seen any reason to worry about fake and spam accounts. I can't think of the reason why somebody would come to our platform and create a fake account. But yeah, who knows? We're still in early stage. I've talked to colleagues from other companies who said that sooner or later, once we are on the radar and people start flocking to our website, we'll see all kinds of scams. Yeah, so I can't say that I'm looking forward to see, but it's kind of like, I guess, an indicator that you're on the radar and people noticed you, and they're coming to your platform.
So you're also delivering these products yourself, or your people, your team. How do you ensure timely deliveries? Any concerns so far, or wouldn't it be better if you have a partnership with another logistic company where they deliver it for you?
No, we see that fulfillment of the products is in a core of our company value adds and strategy. So we want to keep it in-house. And how do we ensure that it's shipping out fast? Well, it's about internal processes. So how do we manage the fulfillment part? How do we train?
By the way, do tell me about why do you want to keep it in-house? Because
because
that's a
it's really
serious business
challenging.
decision.
Yeah, it's a really challenging, and technical operation. There are a lot of technical details, like how to get the labels right, how to make sure that even like one example, how to make sure that the labels upper edge aligns with the lids. These small details that create the user experience. So so that requires a lot of attention, iteration, and rebuilding the process again and again. And nobody's going to do it for us. Maybe at some point when we develop this perfectly and make it like a lean operation, we can then pack it and outsource. But until we get to that stage, we need to develop this in-house.
Okay, talk to me about your marketing strategy. Which one did you pick and how has it been so far?
Yeah, so we actually we launched platform to public in October, so it hasn't been even 6 months, so we can't talk about some kind of grand marketing strategy yet. But of course, we have tried some things. What works for us is, of course, app marketplaces. Our app is available now on Shopify platform. That's where we get a big chunk of users because they're there to build their e-commerce businesses, and once they see a new solution like Supliful, they're happy to try it out. The second one is Google, where we start to outrank all the competitors, and then that's where people go to look for answers, like how to build my supplement business, how to launch private label without any investments, and so on and so on. When they ask these questions, we give them answers, and that's how they end up on our website.
Okay, so you run a blog or like an article on your website, basically targeting frequently asked questions about this industry or supplements.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we have a blog where we talk about all kinds of topics. We want to be so the platform and then the product itself is an extension to this idea that we want to help small direct-to-consumer online businesses launch and grow. We want to share our experience before with the poster business, how we did it, how we scaled, how we designed the user experience, so on. And then we want to, once they learn this information, they have an option to try it out, with Supliful, but they don't have to necessarily, they can use they can go the print on demand way or some kind of like, I don't know, AliExpress dropshipping way.
The content creation of your website, do you do it in-house or do you outsource, or how do you manage?
Yeah, we do it in-house, again, because it's integral part of what we're doing. You have to be really immersed in the industry and in the platform, and feel like fish in the water and understand it really well to be able to help others.
Right. I don't know if you've experienced this before, but when you talk to a search engine optimization expert, SEO guy, so the first thing they're going to ask is, what is the primary keyword that you want your website to rank on? So the same question to you, what's the primary keyword?
I think it's supplement dropshipping.
Supplement dropshipping. Okay.
Yeah.
You recently secured 410K in the pre-seed funding round. How big of achievement was that for you? And how did you utilize those funds? How are you spending that money?
Yeah, so of course it was a great feeling to see that people appreciate what we do, and it was like huge recognition from experienced industry people and investors. So it wasn't just like some compliments, great job. People were actually voting with their dollars, and that's the best compliment there can be. So yeah, that was really great achievement for us. We had never raised money before. With previous business, we bootstrapped it. That's why it took such a long time. But with this business, we've chosen this kind of like fast lane, raising financing. But of course, it means more responsibility, faster growth, and much more stress, more work, and so on.
How is it much more stress because of the people, partnerships, or then they're having a say in it? They tell you, okay, do this, and when you're like, no, I don't want to do it like that.
No, actually, we have really great investors, and they're not involved operationally. They fully trust what we do. We only go to them for advice sometimes. So there's no pressure from them. The pressure comes more from within, from a sense of responsibility, not only towards us. So before we were bootstrapped, super small team. Now externally financed and growing team. So there's a sense of responsibility to investors, to employees, and also there's the end of runway, which is always coming closer and closer until you raise the next round. So that's another like stress, a cause for stress.
And when is it? Any timeline, like tentatively in your head?
Well, as many other startups, we always aim for this 12-month runway with each round. So yeah.
Okay. Right now you're operating in US, UK, mainly the European Union. Any plans of expanding it beyond these borders?
Sometime down the road, definitely, yes. In near future, no, because we're focusing first of all on the US market, which is the largest market for supplements, and we see that people are also more open to new ideas, trying out new solutions. So it's easier to start there. It's also unified market. So same rules, same language in the whole market, as opposed to Europe, where you have to localize for each country. But of course, we still do offer our services also in the European Union and the UK. Yeah, and so we first want to develop our service and make sure that everything runs really smooth before we expand to other markets.
Okay, and about e-commerce, I know coronavirus, it helped e-commerce business boom. But do you think it has kind of reached its peak, or do you think it's going to still move upwards? Because based on the pandemic.
Yeah. I don't know which direction the pandemic will go, but I assume that the pandemic was a real catalyst for further e-commerce growth. It was growing already, but now it was a eye-opener for many, I guess, legacy businesses which still hadn't catched up with the e-commerce trend, and now they're also joined in, and
because they had no choice but to join in.
Yeah, I know a few examples, yeah, of legacy businesses, and it really pissed me off that they don't have an e-commerce store. Now they do, which is great. And yeah, so yeah, I guess other businesses will still keep joining. We'll be building e-commerce, online stores, shopping experiences, and so on. So yeah, I assume it will keep growing, definitely.
And what has been the biggest problem in the success of your product so far? The biggest challenge?
Yeah, challenge. I prefer that word. And the biggest challenge, it's managing supply. It's yeah, it's again, it's in core of this business is essentially it's managing the supply, making sure that there's a big enough product catalog. But if you go too big, then it's really difficult to manage it, because each product oftentimes has different manufacturer, there are different lead times. You need to keep sufficient stock levels and restock in a timely manner, and so on, so on. So it's really challenging. It's a learning experience. We're building out a lot of new processes, hiring people which are smarter than us in this area. And yeah, so that's the main challenge, I would say.
Have you found the sweet spot?
I think we'll never find a sweet spot. We can only get closer to it, and that's what we're doing. Yeah, we're getting closer.
Okay, being a serial entrepreneur, you have rich experience. What do you think are the most common reasons for the failures of startups?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the first one, I think obviously is product market fit. So if there's no product market fit, it doesn't matter like how experienced or good you are at something, you're not gonna launch that business, that product, which doesn't have market fit. Second, I would say is the team that is complementing each other's skills and that can collaborate well. And then the third one is about execution. So if somebody can nail these three, then I don't see how it can fail.
Have you had to fire someone yet in this journey of yours?
Yeah, unfortunately, we had to. Yeah, we built the outbound sales team initially, and it seems that it simply is not the right strategy with this business model. So we had to dismantle this team. It wasn't because somebody was underperforming. It was simply a wrong strategic decision on my part.
So if I have to simplify, over outbound strategies, you preferred organic, like a content strategy, and inbound lead generation. Would that be correct?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that was. It's always been my preference. I was in the early stage. I was simply using this outbound strategy in early stage to get some traction before the content strategy ramps up. Yeah, it was like short-term strategy, which I hoped would actually develop and keep growing and turn into something that we can maintain in the long run, but unfortunately not.
What are you reading these days?
Yeah, recently I finished reading Shoe Dog, which is pretty popular business book nowadays, but I liked it a lot because it's actually it's not dry business book. It's more like a biography of Nike company founder, and yeah, it was great, inspiring story. And now I'm actually reading a book called The Pillars of Earth by Ken Follett.
Okay.
It's a novel. It's not a business literature. I simply haven't found time yet in my daily schedule to put aside time to read some business literature. But this one I'm reading in bed when I go to sleep. Something easy, something I can simply enjoy. I don't have to think about anything. I just read the book and then go to sleep.
Okay, Shoe Dog, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you so much for the recommendations, and thank you so much for the time. It was lovely talking to you. So you can give a shout out before we end the episode if you like.
Shout out to my colleagues, which probably are watching now, and keep up the good work.
All right, Rihard. Thank you so much. Take care, buddy.
Yeah. Thank you, Neil.